Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we are picking up this series on the 8th of March 1950, and it's been a little bit of a rough winter due to an assumption that I made related to the Ampere houses. But before that, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. And one of the biggest comments I've had is related to the stutter with the graphics, and I have to admit I've noticed it as well. And I've been doing a lot of experimentation. If I come up and show you the graphics settings, I normally play on all the high graphics settings. What I've done is I've dropped them down, and somebody also suggested turning off the ambient occlusion. And I've been doing a little bit of testing by doing some spinning around. Apologies if it's making you feel a bit weird. And I've got a feeling that part of the problem is the mud roads coupled with the trees. And if I go across the trees here, you'll see that the trees do tend to flicker slightly when you move around. And it's the same over this area here. You can see, I think it's the relationship between the mud roads and these buildings here. If I come over here and kind of go over this area here, you see the tracking is a little bit smoother. I think part of the problem is that when you're over mud roads like this, if you're zoomed out a bit, the game is trying to deal with these lines on the mud road, and the same with dense trees. I think as you track over trees here, I think what happens is the game is trying to track all the individual trees, and that causes the stutter. And you can also see it a little bit on these power cables here. So for example, if I come in here, power cables here, a little bit of fringing. So I think that's the problem. The other thing I've also done is I've gone to control settings, and I've dropped a lot of my mouse senses down even lower than they were before. In fact, probably drop that down a little bit. The trouble is if I take them too low, then it gets a bit difficult to actually pan and move around. And I think the other thing I've noticed is that if you actually move around using the WSAD keys, because you're moving like kind of laterally forward and backwards, I think that makes a bit of a difference as well. So what I'm going to try and do is move around the map using the WSAD keys rather than it's the rotation that causes the problem across here. Anyway, that out the way, what we need to talk about is the other major comment you guys pointed out, which is this Ampere house. And you can see the temperature in this building is too low. And it's a little bit annoying because if I go into here, and we go to residential and we find the Ampere houses, you can see on that it says environmental pollution 1 ton per year. So I've got a feeling that some of these modded buildings can be a little bit misleading, because normally when it says environmental pollution, it's implying that it's self-heating, but obviously this Ampere house is not self-heating, which is a little bit of a problem. And if I show you up here, I've lost a bit of population, but at the same time, what I managed to do is I realized that there was a problem quite early when the winter set in, and I moved everybody back to these, these houses over here. So effectively at the moment, I'm just gambling on getting this heating working so that we can start using these houses. And I've actually planned a couple more here as well. The only downside is that means I've really got to push the heating in this part. And that's going to mess up my financial plans, because we're going to have to import a lot more steel. But that's going to have to focus. It also means that I'm going to have to kind of try and concentrate a little bit more on trying to sort out this area here. As you can see at the moment, we've got a few logs and bits and pieces here. But hopefully we will get that sorted out. Now, the other thing I need to do is just keep an eye on moving my crops over. We really need this biofuel plant finished as well. And I was planning on getting this built, but I think what we'll have to do is focus on the heating first. See, if I go with these trees, you can just see that the game fringes a little bit over dense trees. So that's a problem. Now, I do have a bit of good news. I don't know if I can find it in here. We got this new vehicle type. What's this? Dry containers. Oh well, I'm not sure what that is. Happiness, yeah. Heating happiness is too low. We got another dry container here. I'm not exactly sure what these dry containers are. Now I'm gonna have to show you with the vehicle depot over here. I'll show you the vehicle depot here. We now have an excavator. We've got this excavating tractor, speed level 10, and you can see maximum speed 7 kilometers an hour. So it's not exactly going to win any awards. In fact, I've got a feeling it's actually slower than these. So, but it's a possibility that we could use that for getting the gravel up, like going on up here. But to do that, I'm going to need to somehow try and push out and get this area here built. So that is something I do need to think about. So in some ways, this part is going to need to be a little bit of a catch-up session, because I do need this heating done. So I'm just going to let the game run on a higher speed, try and catch up here, because I need to preserve the amount of money I get, because ideally I would like not to take a loan out. And while I've been talking, these guys have that's probably a little bit too short. I wouldn't mind finishing that road there as well, and possibly I think it is time to start pushing out a little bit that way. So we'll try and get those roads going. Got this connecting road through here. I mean, beyond that, everything else in winter went pretty well, and we've got lots of crops kind of still in storage, and I have quite literally run out of storage, because another problem I'm having at the moment is actually getting a workforce out here. At the moment the workforce is a little bit intermittent, and I think that is having some impact on my food supplies as well. I just need to keep an eye on this. I think at the moment we're okay, because the amount of food I'm consuming is quite small, because we've only got a population of 958, of which 469 are workers. We do have quite a few people that theoretically are without a job, and there's part of me that would like to possibly get a bigger bus here, but if I come here, you will see that we're getting workers in here. Kind of thinking, I mean, how much will a bigger bus cost me? We've got this Zeiss here with 52. I think we're gonna have to go for it, and hopefully we will be able to. So I feel I need to get more workers into this area. I think the other thing I am going to do is I'm also going to start telling the educated workers to come down here as well. It's going to be a little bit of a risk, but I just feel that I need to get more workers into this area, even if it's at the expense of over here. I've got a feeling we're going to go into a little bit of a period of instability. The other thing I have shut down is this sweeper. I mean, we are getting the occasional random person coming here and doing a little bit of sweeping, but I think I am going to shut this down completely, because I don't think it really worked with respect to keeping the roads clear. And also it's kind of pulling workers away from what I would call more important tasks. But quite strangely though, despite the temperature, the temperature's up to 18 degrees now, so we are getting a few people coming into here. So my party officials, well, have got a nice place to live. It's just it's a little bit kind of there. And what I've done is I've put in another Ampere brick house here, another Ampere brick house. So this is going to be the direction of our expansion. In fact, I wouldn't mind. I know I'm overloading my road crew again, but I think I would like to get out and start connecting some of this stuff up a little bit as well. Maybe we can get this filled in. I want to go straight to gravel roads now. I don't want to mess about with mud roads. So, but this area here, I'm a bit reluctant to, because I feel that if I spend a lot of time spending gravel here, we're going to tear it all down anyway. What I might do is try and get in some of these footpaths though. What happens if I put in a footpath? Right, we're nearly there. We just need steel and mechanical components. What's up with the mechanical component department? We just need the delivery. Now, are we getting more workers into here? We're getting a few more. Yeah, we're starting to produce. I mean, ideally what I would like to do is get enough food in here so that we can feed our population and possibly export a little bit as well. Because we are getting a little bit dire now with respect to... What are you picking up? Or distribution office. Yeah, see, so we've got this big truck here, which is bringing the crops over, but he's not really being as useful as he should be, because we're not consuming the crops fast enough. But hopefully, when this is finished, that should make a difference. Okay, how are these guys going? Are you really ploughing through the jobs? Kind of thinking... I think what I might do is I'm going to kind of build that little bit of road there, but we'll assign the road crew to it. So it's going to need manual workers for this because it's too short for these guys. We just need 4.8 tons of bricks and then we can get this going. I'll be a lot happier there. And then of course the problem comes is getting enough logs out here to be able to do it. What I am thinking is we're going to reduce the number of boards in this area. I think that might work. We drop this to, because I mean if I can export food and possibly fuel, what I can do is set this limit pretty low and then stop exporting boards, or a minimum amount of boards. And what that will mean is I won't be consuming too much in the way of logs here. I mean, we are getting logs, but we are... Why have I got boards here, though? I would like to... Where is my construction office picking up boards from? Okay, you're picking up from the wrong place. I think what we will do is we're just going to temporarily assign you to that, because we've got kind of 8 tons of boards in here. But when we got, I'm kind of thinking that I need to increase this a little bit as well. And of course the other thing I need to do is plant some trees. I need to make sure there's plenty of trees in this area as well. So plant the pines. Just keep planting. And I think this, what I'm doing now, isn't helping the graphics situation, because we are putting a few more trees in there that's a bit dense. Wow. Okay, these guys are working pretty quickly. I think if I can get another... I think another priority is getting the gravel online. I'm trying to think. I mean, we've got this one here. We don't have to go out there. If we could get this one online. Actually, can I get another one in about here? Let's see if we can get... I mean, we've got a 25% gravel. I mean, it's not going to win any awards, but say for argument's sake I can get that one online. It means I could possibly bring the rock crusher in. But the only problem is going to be fuel. I don't really want that, but we have to bring power out here. How much is this going to cost me? 4 tons of steel. I'm kind of wondering whether... But we still got to bring power out here to here. We need to get power to this small transformer here. So if I can get this connected, but we also need this connected over here as well. Oh, so many things to do. I think we're just going to keep working on this in slow time. But what I am going to do is put in as a marker gas station. Where's the gas station? And it's, I mean, it's I can find it. We put a small farm refueling in, say, about here. No, we're going to need to put power into here. So if I put a small farm refueling here, you can see this only needs 1.4 tons of what we call it, of steel. So we've now completed this. How many jobs have you guys got? You're down to heating pipes and other bits and pieces. I do need tech services for the winter. We're now at a point where I need that. And we're okay for power here. I think this is going to be the more important power supply. So we're going to have to try and push out the money on this. And so if we can get this power line built in here, and then I don't think I've put the low tension cables in here yet. No. What I would like to do is I mean, technically, I don't need power to the what we call it here, the quarries, but there's always part of me that likes to put the power in here. Plus, we're going to need power to the gas station here and this. So if I can put, I think what we might do is, if I put power supply, actually, let me just, I know I've just built this stupid thing here, but if I knock this down and we knock that road out, I think in some ways the power supply might be slightly more important. Oops. So say for argument's sake I kind of put you about there. That gives me, so that gives it coverage that way. That will give me coverage down to the store there. So if I put this, get that just hooked on about a bit more. So if we get you in about there, and you can hook up to there. And of course, what we'll have to do is put in a. Can I get away with a lower voltage? It's always difficult to tell. I'm always a bit worried. I think I'm going to go slightly higher. We're just going to connect you up there like that. Because what we need to do is put that little gas station back in again. Or, yeah, I think we're going to go with the lower gas station to start with, just to try and save a bit of money. So come in here, and we'll just put a small farming one just on this corner here. I don't think it would fit that side of the road like that, so we can drop you in there. And what we'll do is we'll get the initial gravel set up in this area here. So, you push out to there. Because of course I want to get this bit built out with gravel before we start doing that bit there. Yeah, how's the pipeline here? So we're working on the pipeline. We just need now to get all that extra work done with the ground thing. Probably we haven't got a crane there. We got that finished there. Right, we've now got the biofuel working. Haha, kind of sneaked up on me when I wasn't looking. Okay, I've got to find the assign to distribution office. Now, what we're going to do is assign you. You're going to pick up directly from there. Fuel. We're going to take off the fuel from there. Now I've got a little silly little cart running backwards and forwards here as well. You need to pick up from there as well, which means you don't need to go to the customs office anymore. And where's the other little cart? You can go there as well. That should take you off of that one there. So, I mean, the distance from there to there is roughly the same as from the distance from there to there, isn't it? Got this. Of course, this guy won't build that because it's too short. So that's something we need to work on. Well, we're getting a bit of heat now, so we're actually, the population here is building up a little bit. Is good. We're down to 100,000, which is reasonable. I mean, what's the exports that we're doing now? Yeah, I mean, we're doing a reasonable amount of exports, and we've got, I mean, we are building up the food situation here now, which means that I've got an opportunity to ship out food. The problem's going to be, do I have anyone that will do it? Do I want to build a truck, buy another truck on this? I mean, I'd love to export food. The trouble is we're getting a queue here already. Let me just see if I've got any spare capacity here. You're carrying them. You're carrying crops. Because I don't really want to take that off just to ensure. For some reason, you're not picking anything up here. Why you got knife edge there? Oh, because you're fuel. Anglo Farm. Okay. Let me just check this. What's the output of this? 11 tons. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll put that on there. You're going to pick up food and you're going to send it to the border, but you only pick up if this is over 50% full. Actually, I'll go 60%, and then I think what we'll do is we'll just increase this to 20 tons because we've got, I mean, no, because this truck will pick up, I can't remember how many tons it was now. Sorry. We need to make sure that we don't steal all the food. That's going to be the key factor. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on what is being done. I think at the moment, you guys are loading, unloading medium fields. You're unloading. Where is... I thought you were... So who's picking up from here? Okay, building is without a power supply. But you've got a power supply, so we cannot store fuel. Wow. Okay, we're going to have to try and export some fuel now. I need another distribution office, don't I? Oh, this is going to be complicated. in the short term, I think what we're going to do is just going to buy a fuel tanker. Where is it? An oil tanker. And we'll buy one of these. This is going to be a little bit risky. And we're going to get you to pick up from there and go to there. Unload. Load. I'm just going to have to micro this for the moment until such time as I've got the, what we call it. So who are you? Where are you coming from? So you are dropping off there. You are going there. I mean, we're still in May, and we are now producing a lot more food. Okay. You're picking up 10 tons of food. Let me just see what the economy, our exports are now. Our imports are steel. This is the big one. So I'm going to have to start trying to limit the amount of steel that I've got. Okay, we've now got some heating plant going, which should be good. Problem now is going to be getting the logs into here, which means we could end up with a little bit of a rough winter if we're not careful. Oh, and we just keep pushing out the road out here. To just double out that like that. What are you doing? Wow. Buildings without power supply. What's up? Oh, come on. Oh, you annoying game. Okay, we're going to have to remove that because this isn't connected. Bit of a fail. Hopefully this was going to work. My power, what was it? And you're going to have to come in here and hope get that built. And okay. Right, this guy's off chopping wood. New vehicle type available. Well, the containers are coming in quite early, actually. I mean, we're reasonably okay for food at the moment. We are kind of making a small amount of money for this month. But we're not really... We have to very strictly curtail our steel imports now. Until such time as I'm making a little bit more profit. I think what we can do is build that in there. Keep the... Now the question is, if say for example, I build a rock crusher. Let me just put you into there, you up to there as well. So we're just going to keep our road crew working on this area here. I am see because I put this small aggregate store here, and if we put in a fuel supply there. I just get this overwhelming feeling that I need to well, we could put in a small distribution office here, say for argument's sake. Distribution office D4. I mean, if I could tuck that on this corner here, like that, and we'll get this guy's working on. These guys don't have a lot of jobs, but at the same time, I mean, I wouldn't mind another house built. At the same time, is that an opportunity? I mean, it only requires 1.5 tons of steel. I think I am going to build that because I just get this feeling I'm going to need the logs. So we'll build this, we'll build this. And yeah, I think what we got now is a competition. Got no wood. So I've got a feeling I may have to shut down this and manage it manually. But we'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, the old biofuel's doing quite well, actually. Maybe we'll just drop you down a little bit. And you're still full. Yeah, we're gonna have to go into a little bit of creepy crawly time now because we're down to 86,000. So I'm gonna have to basically now any job that needs steel is gonna have to justify itself very, very carefully. Just I mean, I'd love to get all this online, but it's I suppose if I could get the workforce into here, so for argument's sake, if I put in you all the way through to there, build that, we can get this gravel processing online. We could do it with trucks in the short term. So we could bring the quarried stone from here to here, get a few workers out here who can start putting in a few bits and pieces, and then that means we can start producing the gravel. Now it's not going to be that efficient to begin with because this doesn't have that much storage, but I think it will make a difference in the long term. So we've now got power to here. Okay. So we have now started to make a small profit. Which is good, but probably find that the steel is still the big factor. But we're just gonna have to work with what we've got and just try and keep an eye on things. I mean, we got the food. We're now feeding our own population. We just want to check the imports, just make sure that we're not importing any fuel. No, we got meat. So we're importing steel, electro components, gravel, meat, power, and cement, which is not too bad. Of course, we're getting up into June, so I need to make some adjustments now. So we're gonna have to remove. What are you? Yeah. Right, we're gonna have to remove you. A knife's edge. medium 2. I need, and the Como camp. I want to leave that one on. And what are you? You're medium field 14. Where's medium field 14? I suppose you're medium field 13. And then what we should be able to do is add back in that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, we need, I think, what's this? This is medium field 12. I mean, eventually I will put in a second distribution office over here, but at the moment it's going to be a question of just microing things until I can make some money, get the money flowing in a little bit more. If we can get the gravel sorted out, that will make a difference as well. And we certainly need to ensure the heating for the winter. And at the moment, we're not really doing that. Well, we are getting some storage here, but it's not going into, I suppose it is, there's no workers. Oh, thank you again. How is the population now? So we're over 1,000. We got 520 workers. Where's that fuel truck? Okay, let me find that fuel truck. You're stealing all my fuel. You back to there. So I'm just gonna have to micromanage that for the moment. That means we're probably going to end up losing money again now. Keep getting these vehicle types containers. Didn't realise containerization started in the 1950s. As far as I know, remember, the containerization started in about the mid 1960s. So we've now got you here, but you've got you're out of range. Oh no, we haven't built this yet. Let me just check. Substation. We need this built here, so we need the gravel. We'll put this road on here as well. No, oh well, that's the second quarry. This is the quarry we need. Right, has this guy got any jobs to do? No, he hasn't. He's out. Wow. Bit of a fail on my point there. And we'll just bring you in there. We'll get this quarry working. What is the output of the rock crusher? Let me just see. I'm not convinced that the rock crusher, I mean, we get 12 tons, we get 8 tons of gravel. My instinct is to go for this and effectively bring this online. I mean, it's going to take 42 tons of steel. I mean, how much money is my gravel imports costing me? I don't know, it's a fair amount. I mean, it's cost me about 1,000 credits a month. Right, let me just go back to the rock crusher. Oops. That's still going to cost me 10 tons of steel and 2 tons of mechanical components. I mean, yeah, I think we're going to stick with this. And if I've got to borrow the money, I've got to borrow the money. That's all there is to it. I just can't feel the need to justify building a rock crusher when we've already got this planned. So we're just going to have to kind of work with what we got. It's a bit annoying that I can't use this. I mean, if I buy some, how much will it cost me to get a couple of vehicles in there? We're also going to need a bus and a truck to move things as well. Let me just see. Fell trees. We could get a couple of these really cheap ones. Yeah, I think I will. And I'm going to get you out to there. Of course, we can't really do anything just at the moment, but I just wanted to get them out there ready. Because once this is built, this should come online. And then we're going to need another bus. But I think there's a bus running backwards and forwards in here because we've got the ZIL bus now. Is really carrying the workers. And there's a small little one of these. I think this is Knife Edge Bus Stops 2. Let me just rename this. Knife's Edge. Whoops. Edge. Food. Stop. Okay. And what I'm going to do is we're going to allocate you to here. And you're going to unload. And we're going to remove you. How am I doing? Yeah, I've got lots of educated workers, so what I'm going to need to do is adjust my routes to... Okay, I think the next thing we're going to need to do is... Our university's been a little bit too successful. What we're going to need to do is... Oh, you're picking up educated as well. That's good. Okay, the fuel's piling back up again. I'm not going to work. I mean, it'd be nice to have that fuel depot kind of online. I think we're just hooking that bit there. And I think the other thing I will also do is gravel that footpath there and that footpath there. It will cause a little bit of disruption, but I think if we can get this kind of area integrated, got that there. I don't need this road there. Oops. And we need this little bit of gravel there, but that's going to need the construction crew. So we've now got this built here. We got this built out to here. I'm gonna put a... Why won't you... I think we're... do those connections there. In fact, I think let's do that bit there. Okay, the population is filling up here, so we are going to need another house. We're going to have to assign you to there. Buildings without a power supply, yes, I know. But we're nearly there. Need some more bricks. I'm not sure I'm going to need this aggregate store here, but I'm just going to leave it in template mode for the moment so that I can kind of sort things out. Certainly would like to travel in this road here, but to do that, we're going to have to find some way to get... actually, how busy are you guys? Yeah, you've got way too much in the way of roads to do at the moment. I've kind of overloaded them a little bit. Come on. Right, that should bring the power online. We have power. That should kind of bring these guys to life. What we got is a bit of a long shot. I really still need to start sorting out these distribution offices. You're not allocated. We need to get you built as well. Here we got the food. How are we doing for crops here? You're down to 132 tons. You're down to 124 tons. You are... Okay, so we're kind of just hanging in there with 90 odd tons. And I think this is going to have to be the process going forward. These guys, you've got the unfinished road, you've got that there. Now built the quarry. And we're going to need to get a excavator out here. Which means we've got to come over here. And we're going to have to buy an excavator. Now, question is... my instinct is to send one of these over here. Simply because these are a bit faster and a bit more efficient than the, what we call it over here. What I'll do is if I need another excavator, we've now got a spare slot here. And what I might do is this kind of slightly less productive excavator over here. What is it? You're really slow, but your excavation speed is there. But what I'm thinking is that maybe it's time to start thinking about another construction office. But at the same time, if these guys can carry loads, these can carry 3 tons. I doubt very much if that excavator is going to be weigh 3 tons. Yeah, it's 5 tons. So what we may have to do is, in fact, I'm kind of wondering, I'm going to send you over to there. Wow, these guys are busy bees. We'll plant some trees in here just to keep these guys busy. What are you doing? I'd like to hook this guy. Where are you going? No, he's going to get gas. You there. You go to there. What we're going to do is get this guy who's got the greater carry capacity. You can go there, and your job is going to be to pick up from here. You're going to pick up wood and you're going to deliver it there. And I want you doing that constantly. Now putting the smaller capacity truck in here is okay, because what we can do is, if he gets an opportunity to export boards, he can do it. Let me just see, because that 20-ton truck was a bit of a waste. So when the guy with the big capacity, you're the road crew guy, yeah. You really only need one of these in here now, so that we can carry the excavators and some of the equipment out. But we'll come back to that. I just want to make sure. So we've got this guy here. Right, we need this built now. It's there somewhere. We're going to build that fuel depot. How's the distribution office over here going? We get this built and finished. What that means is I can move my fuel distribution to here, and then it means that I won't have to bring all the trucks up here, and then that would create a space in there for other bits and pieces. I think this is the truck that's, yeah, you get in there, you pick up nice 20 odd tons of yeah, I mean, if I get the money, what I would like to do is maybe get a second one of these, come out here and deliver the logs out to here. Yeah, well, we're starting to get a little smidge of kind of extra capacity here. The part of the problem is we got this store here, which kind of just sits there because of the way that the game actually works. Right, I think we've just picked up the last of the boards. So what we need to do now is ship you onto there. And we got kind of 0.3 here. Just going to discard that. We've now got that running there. I think we've got this second house being built. Yeah, we're starting to get over 21s now. Probably because they're too far away from this house to do anything. So let me just see what we got over 21 wise. Yeah, we got a few over here that would like to move to the house there. So we do need this next house up and running. Okay, I think overall things are going reasonably well. We'll find that bus stop built, because that would be, and we got a little bit of spare capacity. So this is where we're now reaching the point where we're going to start being a little bit selective with respect to the what we call it, what we do and do not build. In fact, I think we're gonna have to get that right. That's my fuel thing is built, so what we're going to do now is this has got to be the next priority. Get the crews working over here. The house is finished, or nearly finished. I want you to go to there, and what we're going to do is allocate you as a pickup there. You're going to pick up fuel from there, and you're going to distribute it to there, there. And if when this okay, so you're going to load fuel, you're going to unload fuel, and when this little fuel tank thing finishes there, we're going to leave the wagon still supplying the fuel to there, and then we're going to pick you up and get rid of you. I'm going to allocate you to there. and we've now kind of should have cancelled the small barn Hardmode biofuel plant, and we're going to set you to 20%, and then we're going to take you out, and the gas station like that, and then what you're going to do is export the fuel, but you're only going to do it if this, what's 20% of what's in here, 20 tons, 2 tons. I think we're going to push that up to about 50%. I thought I'd covered all the fuel bases. Let me just, we got fuel there. We only got the 2 gas stations at the moment. Yeah, I think what we will do is add that wood cutting plant to the by sending the fuel to here. What we'll do is the vehicles operating in this area won't have to keep trolling back to finding the fuel out here. Eventually we will add another fuel truck to this area so that we can get better coverage, but I think overall, let me just check. Yeah, we're okay. Right, we've got this is now operational. So we're going to hook you. We're going to get the fuel out to here. But what we'll set you is to 90%. I mean, it's a bit of a tall order for one fuel truck, but I think at the moment we don't really have a lot of choice. You're nearly finished. Next job is going to have to be getting power out to here. But I think I'd rather have this built first. And I know you're kind of sat there doing nothing, but that's the name of the game at the moment. But these guys are really going like a train, and we're shipping the how are we doing up here? Right, we've kind of got probably a bit too much in the way of boards now, so I think we're just going to reduce you down to kind of about 36 tons, I think. And what that should do is trigger the board exports. Let me just check. So yeah, we'll push that to 30%, because truthfully we don't need that much in the way of boards for construction. So how's our economy now running? So we're kind of just on the edge at the moment, and last month we exported food, alcohol and boards. This month we're exporting fuel, alcohol, food and boards. Now the big question is going to be is kind of managing this production here. Check grain storage, unload. You need to go to that grain storage. You need to unload to that one so that you can stop kind of sending stuff out, because what they're doing at the moment is picking up from there. And these are nearly empty now, so what we need to do is get the crops into here and over to here. Yeah, I didn't change this quick enough, so we've lost a little bit of an advantage here, which could be expensive. Right, so this is where I'm going to leave it. What I will say is that if any of you watched the video and you got any feedback on whether the changes to the graphics settings have improved the overall experience, feel free to chuck it in the comments. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.